might go a little further today. How the hell are you, Kane and Corey Show? Guy got fired in New York City. I love this show. I love the podcast because we can pretty much say anything. There's no one to fire us. Right?
Well, yeah. Well, cancel us, yes. Fire us, no.
No, I don't even cancel. Nah. Okay. Cancel.
Well, we don't say anything that's too offensive.
Right. No. I mean, but, you know, we do toss around the word cunt.
Well, you could turn that W upside down, okay, and we, because I don't ever said cunt on the show.
Well, you just did. There you go. But you just said the word. You didn't say it in a...
No, I would never call someone that word, no.
Right.
Although in Europe and England, they do it like it's fucking hotcakes, you know, I mean, they just toss that word around like it's nothing.
It's a cunt.
Yeah.
You fucking cunt.
Bloody cunt.
Bloody cunt. That's it. Yeah, because they don't even say fucking.
And ew, gross. Like that's period vagina.
Right. I bring that up because there was a guy who got fired. If you watch Eyewitness News, Channel 7 in the morning, Ken Rosado, he's been there like 20 years or so. He got fired for calling his co-host a cunt. Off the air. He wasn't even on the air. I think they were on set. He was wearing one of the lav mics. It was a live mic, you know, because it was during commercial or whatever. And I don't know the backstory. The article didn't say. I can't wait for that to come out because I really want to know what the fuck the genesis was for him to call her a cunt. But he called her a cunt, and they immediately pulled him off the air, and now he got fired for that. But so that's why I'm thankful. We can pretty much say and do anything.
I think if he said that to one person behind closed doors, different story. But since everyone heard it, now they know it's turmoil. It's going to get back to her. There's going to be a problem with the show. It's going to be, you can't. These are some things you can't do. You just can't do that.
Because we've worked with bosses. We've had bosses who just, and you probably have too, Mafia, who just destroy other people. Like behind closed doors. Bosses
if my boss called me a cunt, he's getting fired. I'm fucking going to the head. Yeah.
I don't know. Well, now I might. Although, no, the last boss, we've had some back and forths. We called each other some pretty rough names.
He didn't call us anything like that, though. I mean, not me personally. I didn't hear him say anything like that. I heard him say things that he shouldn't have said to about other stories, but he never name called me.
Part of me thinks he shouldn't have gotten fired, though, Ken Rosado. I mean, because maybe they were fighting. Maybe she called him a name, too. Maybe you just send him to sensitivity training. And why does that story even have to get out? He just...
Well, because people are going to wonder where he is, and they got to, save face on why they let him go.
Yeah, but they don't have to... I know, but if they don't let him
go...
go...
using a fucking cunt card, man. It's not like you can't just go around tossing that around like it's a fucking football.
What does it mean, except for the meaning that we put on it, right?
I think it more so is the fact that it's going to cause turmoil in the workplace, and you can't fire everyone, so you got to fire the one that did it. Right. So I don't know.
You're just going to get all the butthurt, all their employees who, I can't believe he said that. So that's where Ken Rosado is, in case you're wondering.
Was he a good anchor? I don't.
Yeah, he was there for a very long time. Like
is it the other girl's name Rosado too? The one that's in the morning. Who does the morning show? Wasn't her name Rosado?
No, that's Rosanna.
Rosanna
Scotto.
Scotto. That's what it was. Yeah. And we got Rosados and Scottos.
She's my favorite. That's the one we watched when we had our jobs.
She's in New York. She's a real New Yorker, that lady.
Yeah. Now, she's a MILF, man.
You keep saying that, man. I just don't see it.
Well, I mean, okay, to each their own. But Rosanna Scotto Mafia, back me up. She's hot. And I don't know what she is, 60, 65.
Would you, given the chance?
Yes.
Wow, good for you, man.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you taking steps. And
you know what else it is? She's cool. She's cool.
Laura P says, ew. Staten Island Chris says, definitely a MILF. So you've got some people on your side.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the guy on this one. Laura, of course you're going to say ew. Martha Stewart, we'll talk about that in a second. On the cover of Sports Illustrated swimsuit model, you talk about you.
No, she looked good. That was tasteful.
Yeah, okay.
Forbidden Balls said he would definitely take Rosanna down. Unbeliever in New Jersey says totally a MILF.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know what Corey's thinking. Well, we do know what Corey's thinking because he thinks anybody over 60 degrees or 60 years old is.
Well, 60 degrees and 60 years old, yeah.
Where's your ARP? If you got an ARP card, you're not allowed in Corey's bed.
Yeah. If you can get into the movies at a discounted price before 1 p.m., dude, you're too old for me. If you're getting free meals at Denny's, you're either too young or too old, okay?
If dinner time is 4 p.m., you're too old for Corey. I would love a dinner time at 4.
Yeah.
You know, because you eat too late, that's bad for the weight.
If your ideal fitness is going to the mall at 8 a.m. to walk around it, you're too old for me.
If you belong to the mall walking club.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
You're too old for Corey. What are some things that you've said in the past on the radio that today you'd be fired for, and then you weren't even in trouble? Can you think of anything?
I used to play a game. It was probably like 11 years ago. I used to play a game overnights, and it was called Let Me Guess Your Weight. And you would call in.
Oh, no. Well, they have that at fairs and stuff.
You would
know,
call
the guys
in.
Let me guess your weight. And they step on the scale, and then they win like a thimble.
Oh, what is a thimble? What does that symbolize?
Helps you turn the page. Just a small shitty prize is what I was going for.
Oh, okay.
You win a pencil.
Yeah,
you know?
okay, got it. Here's a cool eraser.
Right.
So basically, they would call in, and I would say, like, I'm gonna guess your weight, and I'd be like, one time I was like, damn, you sound like a fat bitch. I remember guessing her weight, but the thing was, I said you sound like a fat, and I was joking, but I was like, my whole thing was, if you sound fat, you're skinny, and if you sound skinny, you're fat. And guess what? 8 times out of 10, I was right.
If they were telling the truth about revealing their weight, you know, you never know. But there's nothing wrong with that. If the callers know they're in on it, they're calling you, so they're in on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's funny. But I can see.
But now, if you did it this day and age, and you'd be like, you know, that's not fucking PC.
Back after 9/11, when I was still buying the political narrative, when I still thought it was actually terrorists and not an inside job, we were, of course, rightfully pissed. Cabby and I on the air were calling them towel heads.
Oh, no, you can't be going around doing that.
Well, we didn't. The boss didn't say boo. Yeah. I mean, we were just
doing that, though.
It was America, rah, rah, towel heads this,
yeah, but I guess,
I
guess everyone was mad. Everyone was mad. There was hatred towards that. Even Muslim people were mad at Muslim people. You know what I mean? So,
right. Especially in New York, where it was the opposite of being mad at us for saying that. It was like, we were getting like pats on the back and stuff. But, you know, today, geez Louise.
That was the most far right New York's ever been, dude.
Yeah, probably. And speaking of Ken for being fired for saying cunt, I used to get away around that by calling people countries. Oh, she's such a country. Yeah.
Nowadays, you'd still get called out because then they know what you're saying.
Right.
Everyone knows, you know what I mean?
Right. Like, you know, you'd have a bitchy lady caller, and then as soon as you hang up, Cabby would be like, oh, what a country.
There was a guy in Chicago, I listened to the radio, and he'd be like, man, it's real hot and shitty today. And, like, he was just saying city, but it was, you know what I mean?
Well, that's pretty
yeah,
blatant.
but the thing was, they were like, he would, I forget what he said. He goes, I didn't mean to say that. But he said it multiple times.
Well, there was a morning show host when I was in Minneapolis. He was a legend in the city. He always said shit on the air, and they let him. And I was just at the radio station down the hall. It was the same company. And I did afternoons on a different station. So I'm like, well, if he can say shit, so can I. So for 3-4 weeks, I was saying shit in the afternoon. Shit this, and leaving it go, and nobody said anything. And then finally, the boss comes in one day, and he goes, yeah, I got to put a kibosh on you saying shit. I go, Tom says it. Tommy B was his name.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, but that's Tommy B. I'm like, I've been saying it for 3 weeks. Yeah, but like, they didn't even.
Wow, they didn't even
no
blink
big
at it.
deal.
It was okay.
Yeah.
But here we go. I say, are you shitting me? And the fucking whole country's burning down. You know what I mean? Mike's calling me. Are you kidding me? You said, goddamn, we're going to have a meeting.
Oh, yeah,
no
you
one
said that.
complained once.
And it wasn't even like I guess, was it obvious when you said that? Or
That
was it kind
the
of
first time I said it. And no one caught it. No one, except for the girl that was running the board in Detroit.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The only person, and she said something, so Mike freaked out. And Mike, I remember at the gym, Mike's calling me, did you say it? I was like, I don't think I said it. You're asking me. I don't remember saying it. And then he plays me the sound, and he goes, you said it. And I was like, oh, my God. It was so nonchalant, so fast.
Yeah, who cares? Are we that uptight as a society where we have to update the rules as far as broadcast, television, and radio goes?
Yeah, you're watching daytime TV and they're saying some of these things. So it's like,
nobody freaks out over a shit anymore. Nobody freaks out over a fuck. Matter of fact, like TBS.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like Family Guy and American Dad, TBS, they do say shit. You watch Bar Rescue, He says shit. I
Well,
swear I heard a fuck.
It's because it's paid for.
I know, I get that, but
why does that make it okay? Because you paid for it,
right?
So what? Because it's not the free TV. Who's got free TV and who's using an antenna?
I used to tell girls you sound like you have nice tits when they would call up.
What's wrong with that? That's a compliment.
I don't think you say tits on the air.
If I called in the radio station like you sound like you got a hog, I'd be like, thank you.
Well, if they said sound like you got a nice cock, that you can't say.
No, you can't say that. Yeah.
Oh, I used to always have I had a gay bell too. Mm-hmm. If a guy called up and sounded gay, I would ring the bell.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
I don't know if you could do that today. You probably could.
No, you can't. I don't think you could do that.
Well, if we ever get a job on the radio, let's try and see what happens. They're trying to cancel Howard now. What are you doing? You're moving your lips. Is he on the phone? What are you on the phone? What are you doing?
No. Go ahead. Continue.
Okay. It was freaking me out. You were moving your lips and I couldn't hear anything. They're trying to cancel Howard now for things he did in the past. I don't know if you've seen this story.
No, what's that?
Yeah, well, it was on BuzzFeed. But maybe you've seen it. A viral compilation of Howard Stern's disgusting comments to Sofia Vergara, Courtney Love, and Anna Nicole Smith has left people seriously disturbed.
Okay, so now all you had to tell me was Anna Nicole Smith. And that tells me, 20 years ago? How long ago was that?
Well, no, exactly. These are like 20 years old. And that's a headline only BuzzFeed would write, or Vice. But, geez, Vice has gone bankrupt, and so they're no more. But it's like renewed backlash, which is a falsehood right there, because there was never...
Vice.
What?
I enjoy watching Vice. They got some pretty good shows.
I'm talking about like the website.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Here's
I like when the comedian goes and lives with the KKK guys for a little bit. The black comedian, and he goes and lives with the K. Have you seen that one?
No, I never saw that.
Oh my God. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's all right. A collection of Howard's disgusting past comments. I don't have video, but there was a interview with Lisa Marie Presley where he asked if she was wearing panties during an interview, and they're all upset about that. Mm. You wearing panties? Would you wear a thong? And she nods. Then there was this other one with Mariah Carey. He says to her, first of all, your breasts are incredible. And she says, no, they're not. They're normal, but thank you. And then Courtney Love, this is in the TikTok compilation too. Oh, yeah, you got a nice stomach. As she takes her jacket off. Now, all of this stuff... These people know what they're getting into with Howard. That's who he was. I mean, people still wish he was like that.
Yeah, there's no secret, but you can't. Right. Why are you bringing that up now?
Exactly.
Like everyone was okay with it then. Obviously, if he would have been canceled, he would have been canceled then for it. He wasn't.
Sure. But again, like I said, that's who he was, and these people know going in what they're in for. It was
like people that used to get interviewed by Ali G. Remember that?
Right, yeah.
And I remember the Victoria Beckham and David Beckham interview. It was so dirty, but like they were laughed the whole time because they knew they were expecting it.
He tells Courtney Love, just stand there for a second. Let me look at you. Body's hot. And she's just like, Howard.
Yeah. But they probably knew him on a personal level and knew he was that way. You know what I mean?
He asked Sofia Vergara, do you breastfeed your son? Oh, that must have been unbelievable. That's a little gross. But I mean, seriously. But she goes, it wasn't unbelievable. I was 19. And then he goes, you must have had so much milk, right? How much milk?
Okay, that's a little much.
He told Anna Nicole Smith that she's a heavy-set woman. He said, the way you dress and stuff, I don't think you're aware that you're a heavy-set woman.
Damn, what?
And she says to him, I know I'm a big woman, so what? So I was guessing your weight, he says, before you came on. He wanted her to step on a scale, but she wouldn't do it.
Oh, my God.
I mean, but you can't cancel him now for that. That's fucking stupid.
No. You should have canceled him back then if you want to cancel him, but this is over with. He's so different now. He's not like this anymore.
I hate defending Howard because we know how we feel about him now because he's just so different. I like this Howard. This is how he got to be Howard.
Yeah.
But now everybody on Twitter is like, oh my God, I feel so bad for Anna. Do you feel so bad for Anna? She's been dead for 15 years.
Long. You should have felt bad for her. And do you feel bad? Her husband was like 40 years older than her.
Yeah, it's like you can't look at it in a different lens. It's the way it was then. Oh, somebody else said, this one of Anna Nicole Smith breaks my heart, how they all bullied her on there. The poor woman.
That's what she
I
don't think she became famous, though.
And she went back on the show repeatedly. She was like a regular guest on that show.
Because she knew the PR. They gave her the PR. She loved it.
But that's what the young generation doesn't understand.
Yeah.
When you don't know the past, sure, if you take it out of context like they're doing, it looks terrible. But
yeah,
they're not going to cancel. Howard's uncancelable, first of all. Don't you think?
Well, he's changed his ways. Like, he's not even close to being like that anymore. So yeah, definitely can't cancel him now.
And what would he give a fuck? He's got his $500 million.
Easy.
I think he signed that same contract
the thing is,
a couple
this
times.
was all public. This isn't stuff that he posted on Twitter.
Right.
This is all public stuff that everyone's known about and everyone knew. There was a movie made about him and all the stuff he's done. Like there was a movie that glorifying the things that he did.
I know. Have you seen the John Morant video? You probably have by now, right? He's the Memphis.
Him toting a gun like a gang member again? Pointing a gun at a damn camera?
Here's where I think, though, employers have creeped too far into our private lives. Because he didn't break the law. It was a stupid maneuver, especially since, he's had some problems with nightclubs and, his friend, Brand, he just hangs with the wrong crowd. But it happened a few months ago.
Like legit gang members, though. Like he's hanging around with gang members. Well,
Keyshawn Johnson said the gang members are pissed off at him for like co-opting. He's not a gang member. He's never been in a gang. He's not from the hood. And the gang members are pissed at him for doing that. But I don't know, like the Memphis, what the fuck, Grizzlies? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. It's Grizzlies.
It was Vancouver Grizzlies, yeah. But they suspended him, and I'm just like, well, he wasn't at work. It was a stupid thing to do, and he's done it before, which, again, makes it even stupider. But
he doesn't have a regular job, dude. He is a part of the team, and he's an image of the team wherever he goes. Like, there's not a clock in, clock out. I'm at work. I'm not at work. He doesn't work at Home Depot. He works. He's a player for the NBA. You know what I mean? So he's like, if anyone were to do this, remember Plexico Burress shot himself. Wasn't he suspended for having a gun and shooting himself at a club? I mean, he suspended himself because he couldn't play because he shot himself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you can't. And he already got in trouble for it once. Why do it again?
Can I play a clip? Because there's a clip of a rapper. What the hell is his name?
Like
Brick Baby.
Egos. Oh,
Brick Baby.
Never heard of him. Brick
He
Baby.
talks about John Morant throwing up the crip, right? But he says the N-word a lot with an A. Should we play that or not?
It is what it is.
Right, and we're not saying it.
No.
So let's go ahead because he makes good points here.
I don't think so. Run it in. You know what's up. He ain't fucking with the gangland like that. You throwing them ends up, that's gonna cost you, nigga. That's what I was gonna say anyway. That's gonna cost you anyway. What you want to do? Pay the Crips for the rest of your life? Because that's going to cost you. You get what I'm saying? Like, you ain't never been to the 60s, nigga. You keep throwing up ends and all that shit when you and throwing up C's and all that, nigga. You ain't even from this shit.
True.
You ain't even from this shit, no way, shape, or form. Like, when you get put on in Memphis, dead homies. Like, come on, let's be real, cuz. Like, start being real with yourself. You a basketball player, cuz. You want to come step into this field, we can show you a whole lot about this shit. Matter of fact, set up a meeting for me and John Morant since he want to be a Crip. So I bet you he don't never show up. And it's on some friendly shit. I don't got no beef with you, John. You like the face of like the NBA. You like the new face of the NBA, and you with this. You claim you a part of the culture, man. Be the positive side of the culture like you been. You don't got no felonies. You didn't grow up fucking shit up and all that. You might have smoked some weed or whatever the case is, but come pull up on me. Look, we gonna hang out this summer on the off season. If you want to be with this.
Yeah, no,
I agree with this guy wholeheartedly. Yeah. That's actually a very, very good statement from a gang member. Like he's like, listen, be the good image you should be. He's like, you're not a gang member. You're a basketball player. Be the basketball player and be an image to the kids. A lot of these gang members don't want the kids doing this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And I've seen it before. They actually have gang coalitions to try to keep the kids out of the gangs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's been a lot of times where there was back in the past. There was a lot of time. There was a time where the Bloods and the Crips came together in L.A. to try to like stop the violence. I mean, you see how that goes, but yeah, I don't know.
That's what Keyshawn was saying. It's like, dude's got no idea what that's really like.
No, you don't. Everyone said he comes from a really nice neighborhood, a really nice family. But the thing is, he is a young star in the league, and everyone watched him because he's amazing. He's great.
Right.
He's a great basketball player. Why are you going to fuck it up?
And that's why I give him a pass. I mean, all the stupid shit that we did when we were young. And, it's easy to, when you got all that money, there are so many people around you. And they act like your friends, and I was stupid. I didn't have nearly that much money.
Yeah.
But when I was working a couple of jobs, I had a shit ton of money, and there were people around me constantly, and I thought they were my friends. None of them were my friends.
They're leeches.
Yeah, as soon as the money goes.
He's got this. Did you see the video? He's got this mansion in this nice ass neighborhood, and they're all standing on top of the fucking car, yelling rap music. Like, oh my God, could you imagine being the neighbor and there's guns being thrown around? I'd be fucking terrified.
I know.
No, not because you're black, because you're on top of a car with guns. If I saw a bunch of white guys doing that, a bunch of Hispanic guys, I'd still be fucking terrified. Don't matter the color of the person. It matters about what you're doing.
Yeah, 100%. That would get your heart aflutter, wouldn't it? Your heart would be all out of whack. No, that's a nice segue into Corey's heart problem. I used to think that I was a hypochondriac, but Corey's walking around with he's showing right now. He's got a legit heart monitor hooked up. Why is there one on each side? Because I thought your heart was like...
There's one on this side, one on that side, and one down below. It's getting all of it. It's getting all the chambers, I think. I don't know.
All right, I thought this was going to be like a 3-minute test, but how long do you have to wear this?
Oh, 3 minutes, 4-day test.
4 days you have to wear a heart monitor.
I went in, and they do your blood pressure, which, for some reason, I hate blood pressure machines. It gives me anxiety, and every time I've ever taken one at a doctor's office, I have a panic attack, and my blood pressure goes through the roof. So I'm laying there, and she's like, I'm not going to tell you the number. And like, I know it's high because she's saying that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
She goes, but I'm going to have to take it again. And I know if I take it twice, it's because it was too high the first time.
Now, in that situation, would you rather know the number? I bet you would. You want to know the number.
No,
right?
I don't want to know.
I
want it to go down because if I know it, it's going to go higher because I'm going to freak out even more.
You are a mess.
So, so they give me that. She talks to the doctor. And the doctor comes in and he starts talking to me and he's like, why are you so anxious? You got anxiety, this and that. He listens to my heart. He goes, sounds solid as a rock. He said, sounds good. Then they gave me an echo. They gave me an ultrasound of my heart. They said that looked great. All the valves looked like they were working fine. So they gave me this monitor to try to find out what's going on when it does happen. Why I do have these little blurps and like extra heartbeats and dropped heartbeats and whatnot. So he's just trying to figure out what it is. He told me to check my blood pressure at home. I checked it last night. It was like 125 over 70, which is normal, which is completely fine.
Sure.
There's nothing wrong with that, you know what I mean?
Right, of course.
So
didn't he basically laugh at you though when you first
he was
kind of
laughing. He was like, dude, you're so angry because I'm a hypochondriac because I knew everything. I'm like, yeah, I was giving him terms and stuff that like only medical people knew, and he's just laughing.
God.
He's like, why do you like? He's like, yeah. So basically what he said is, I'm going to go back on Friday and get a stress test, which is basically you run on a treadmill while they hook you up to a heart monitor and they check your valves and all this other shit while you run. And then you slow down and all that. And then after that, he said, if they don't find anything too serious, he's just going to give me beta blockers.
Carol says you're manifesting bad health for yourself. If you
Carol,
keep thinking something's wrong with you.
I've done this my whole life, Carol.
Well, yeah, but you should start going to a mental doctor.
That's
instead
why.
of a physical doctor.
So here's the thing: is I always went to doctors, and they always said, "Oh, there's something there. There's like you have SVT, you have this, you have that." So this is my first time going to an actual heart specialist.
Kat says, "Go hug a tree, Corey."
This guy's a specialist, and what he said to me is that it could be caused by anxiety, and if it is, he said that he's going to give me beta blockers. And that helps it.
Read what Tomorrow wrote.
I've already had that. I've already had an echocardiogram.
Oh, okay. The $1 million cardiac workup.
No, he's cool. He basically told me. No, he already told me what the next step is. He said the next step. The cardiologist. He runs the. He actually was the main doctor of Manhattan cardiology. He said the next step after this, if he doesn't find anything, is just me doing a stress test and that's it.
Doreen says you're too young for this.
Well, you spelled too wrong, but that's fine.
She spelled you're wrong too. YRUR young for this. That's okay. Doreen, I was going to let it go, but Corey brought it up, so I thought I'd pile on. If your doctor's saying that you're all right, then accept it. My cardiologist is thrilled that my symptoms have lessened so much as the years pass. That's from
I am okay. Again, that's what this was. The whole thing was to put my mind at ease. That's the reason why I did this. I've never been to a heart specialist, and I wanted to do it. I wanted to go to a heart specialist. He did tell me though that I need to cut back on the red meats and the cheeseburgers and stuff, since my parents have had heart attacks and strokes and high blood pressure.
Stanley Chris says, and we're suddenly 65. Yeah. I would rather have high blood pressure than give up meat.
I'm gonna say I would rather live longer than that.
Living is overrated.
Yeah.
I heard blocks of melted cheese are great for your heart.
Yeah,
said Rodeo.
Try that out.
That was Captain.
That's not a beta blocker. That's an artery blocker.
So in 4 days, and we'll find out. He's just going to be like, as soon as you left, you know what he said to the nurse? This dude's wasting his money.
Who?
The doctor said that to the nurse.
He knew
as soon as you left.
Because of my family history of heart issues. My grandfather had a stroke. My other grandfather had SVT and had to have an ablation in his heart. He had to buy something surgery on his heart. Yeah, exactly. The red meat, fatty red meat, like saturated fats, like the meat with the fats, burgers and shit. Like filet mignon's not bad because there's not a lot of fat in it.
Hey, if I put these texts up, read them for the Spotify and Apple.
Gold Coast M says red meat isn't an issue. She said bad red meat is bad. Yes. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of the meat with saturated fats, fatty red meats are bad.
Like I said yesterday, you're not going to be happy until they actually find something wrong with you. So
no. Again, this is something that everyone should do. Everyone that has had heart problems in their family should go to a specialist and get figured out, and that'll be fine.
No.
I was actually on beta blockers when I was 23, and for some reason I stopped taking them. I don't know. I'm an idiot.
What did your heart good yesterday was he had celebrities like his post with Benny Blanco, which isn't a surprise because Benny Blanco is a celebrity. So, but who liked the post?
One was Paris Hilton. The other one, the Jack Black.
Now that one is cool. Imagine, because he's hilarious, right? So you possibly made one of the funniest men in America laugh. How cool is that?
I'm pretty excited. When I saw that, I was like, oh man.
Jack Black knows you exist now.
Watched my video, dude.
Yeah.
He saw my face.
Right?
And like if he had to watch the whole video, he had to watch the first 15 seconds, which was just me on the screen. You know what I mean? So like,
by the way, I noticed in the edit, Benny barely says anything. You've edited all of his talking parts. No, he really doesn't talk much.
Yeah, he says something about the marshmallows. Mm-hmm. Then he says something about my cabinets being broken.
Sure.
And then he at the end talking about the food was good.
Well, but a lot of stuff, but most of it's reaction, like and spitting out the marshmallow.
Because things that were said were like, these look like titties, and I can't put these look like titties in there. And then he said something like, I don't know how to ride a bike, and I was like, that's out of context. The things that we said that were funny, if we made a 5-minute video, that would have made sense, but it wasn't.
I know, I get it, but if you go back and watch it, Mafia, go back and watch that video. And that's the way it should be. It's your page. It's your video. It should be you. But
that's kind of how it's funny because everyone that wants to collab with me, I'm always like, what do you want to do? And they're like, let's do one of your videos. I'm like, why? I want to do someone else's
What else
video.
would you do?
Because they have because everyone else has their own style of video, but no one else wants to do their style. They want to do my style of video.
That's flattering. They like what you do.
It is flattering. You're right, but it's also like a pain in the ass because I got to fucking do all the work.
Oh, you come up with them every day.
Yeah, I know. Which is like I'd like to take a back seat to one of them and do someone else's video.
Well, you could give them. How about maybe give them a choice of what you start out the video with. I'm going to think about this, or this, and let them decide what you want to make. You could do that. Curvy Barbie says you need a private 18 plus private account.
Yeah, where I just show my feet or my wiener. What are you talking about?
Probably for the language is what she's getting at. But
okay.
Yeah. I don't think you're at the point where you're going to do an OnlyFans.
Not even close. Not even close.
Do you ever click on, you're just watching a random, if you do a search for someone on Instagram, then all the suggested searches that come up, if you just click on them, almost everybody in their link tree or whatever link they've got in there, almost every fucking buddy has an OnlyFans now. Mm-hmm. Everybody, just random dudes, random girls, random just
because they're making a shit ton of money off of it. Dude.
But how can everybody doesn't make money off of it.
Not everybody does, but say you get say you have, I don't know, 10,000 people to follow you, and you get 1,000 of them to pay $20 a month.
But how
is that? That's like 20 grand a month, right?
How have we reached the point where it's so just nonchalant? It's so normal now to show your dick and show your vagina and just show that's we've lost all morality in this country. Not to sound like some 80-year-old preacher, but we really have. We've gone from remember the big the Paris Hilton sex tape and the Kardashian sex tape. Those used to be big deal. Tommy Lee and his penis. That was a big deal. Oh my God. Now it's just I don't know. I hate
Paris
that
Hilton sex tape. Let me see your beaver. Let me see your beaver.
Yeah.
that was the whole time.
It's just nobody's got any shame anymore. Look at my privates. They're called privates for a reason.
Well, they're not anymore. They're called publics. Look at my publics.
That's what we have to start calling them.
Take a look at I'm going to show my publics on my private page, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Exactly. So, I mean,
Gary Kelly said, hey, if a girl wants to see my butthole for $20,000 a month, I'll do it.
You know what? I would be more inclined to show my butthole than I would my dick. Just because it feels less personal. And everybody's got a butthole, and none of them are good looking. They're all sloppy.
I feel like they're all like snowflakes, so every single one's different. You know what I mean?
Well, I haven't seen enough of them to really come to that conclusion.
I haven't either, dude, to be honest. Yeah,
But
I kind of like
they're really just, they're chocolate starfishes. They all have should I Google butthole? I don't know what a butthole looks like. I mean,
it
really.
looks like a
chocolate starfish, just like Limp Bizkit named their album.
With no pink around it. Because to be honest, your butthole and your lips are the same kind of muscle.
These are so funny.
Your butthole and your lips are the same muscle. They're both sphincters. Go like this.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Look, my lips just, oh yeah, there it is.
No, whoops.
I mean, we put it that way. It don't look that bad. You know what I mean? It's not that gross.
It's not? What about that one?
Which one? Yeah, that's weird, dude. That one's see but that's what they call a gaping butthole. That one's open too wide.
Yeah.
That one has had a finger or two in it for sure.
There's a t-shirt, butthole t-shirt. I like that hat up top though. Show me that butthole.
They have toys. Look at all the toys, butthole toys they have.
Yeah, I know. Would you wear a hat that said "Show me your butthole"?
I would not. No, I don't think as a father I should. You know.
my old partner Cavia's favorite thing was I eat ass.
Wait. Carol said, "Why does it have two buttholes?" Wait, something that you just showed had two buttholes?
Well, I assumed that was a girl and the other hole was a vagina.
Oh.
I mean, right?
I don't know. I don't remember. I remember something being a little bit off, I think.
Wow. We need to go back to fucking
anatomy.
Anatomy. That's it. Anatomy class. Nikki Jewell says it went from being frowned upon, the nudes getting leaked, to it being embraced. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mock Infinity says Japan not even censoring their hentai anymore.
Gold Coast then was like, that is not a vagina. Oh, so what was it then? So now I got to...
I don't know. It had two holes.
Go back to it. Now I got to see.
Really?
Yeah, because now I'm freaked out. Because now it's like...
For the love. All right, let me open it back up.
Indentation top dimple, says Tom P. Tim? Gavin says, I think it was a dimple on top.
What are we looking at? All right, let me get a better shot of it here.
Back dimple?
Oh, my God.
Right? What is it?
Okay. It's a Reddit thread, and it says, Reddit, I give you my second butthole.
A dual sphincter, says New Jersey Curvy Barbie.
Yeah, this is a dude, and oh, God. All right, here we go.
That's what I'm saying. Now, see, something's off, right?
You're right. No, something was off on that.
Yeah.
I guess this dude has a second butthole.
I knew my mind wasn't registering it because I was only looking at the top one.
And I didn't look at it closely enough.
Yeah, that ain't a. Was that a misplaced butthole? What is that? That's too high.
It's way too high. It's like he had a tail removed. It looks like it's the bottom of his tailbone.
Dang, I bet that thing whistles though.
Oh, what does it
Maybe
do?
it's just a shadow. Maybe that's a dimple. Maybe the shadow's making it look like a hole.
No.
This dude needs to clean his fingernails before he does butthole pictures. Though. Jesus.
I noticed that too.
Okay, Rachel says he must have had a cyst removed. My friend had the same thing.
Okay.
Jen says that's a tailbone removal scar.
Okay, I was right then. Well,
that's a hole from spina bifida. Said Rick. That's a funny word, spina bifida.
It is, right? I know.
Shit, I went to the doctor. They didn't diagnose me with damn spina bifida.
Unbeliever says that must be a nightmare to wipe.
Excuse me, sir. Do you guys have any more of the spina bifida for lunch?
Carrie says, is that a grinder pick?
Yeah.
Stand on the Chris says,
could you imagine?
Oh, wait, that's not a vagina. Yeah. Those fingernails. Note to self, if you take anything away from this at all, is before you spread your butt cheeks for the world to see, clean your fingernails.
Clean your fingernails, yeah.
If only Aaron Carter would have followed that advice.
Toenails, fingernails, all the nails. He smoked so much cigarettes that his nails and walls were yellow.
Oh, my God. How did we get on that? Well, as long as we're talking about offensive things, Martha Stewart on the cover of Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. Oldest person ever, of course. She's 81 years old.
For 81, she looks immaculate, dude.
Well, you ever heard it like her? Look at these pictures, okay? There's no way that her... I mean, you can't see any varicose veins. There's no wrinkling of the skin.
Yeah, that's called being rich.
It's called like dusting the shit out of your pictures.
I don't know.
It's called photoshopping the shit out of them.
I think Snoop Dogg's hit it.
You think?
Yeah, dude, for sure. Snoop Dogg's for sure.
I will say for 81, sure, she looks good. But I mean, again, if you can't say Rosanna Scotto's not hot and then turn around and say, oh, Martha Stewart is.
I'm not saying she is.
Would you hit Martha Stewart?
No. How much?
$100.
No. Well, maybe just am I allowed to tell everybody?
Like, look here. At her chest, she's coming out of the water in this picture.
That's the only thing you can look at.
There's no chest wrinkles. There's no nothing. There's no arm sagging of the skin. There's no way that these photos aren't doctored to within an inch of their lives.
Maybe she had surgery. You know what though? I know the guy that does her face surgery, like who does her skincare and stuff.
Whoever her
really
plastic surgeon
dermatologist here
is great, because I mean, she's not pulled back or anything, but I don't know why.
Chris said he'd do it several rounds.
Why are we putting her on the cover of Sports Illustrated? It's just ruining it for men all over. Men look forward to this issue the entire year, and then you get that on the cover.
Do we look for? Are we really? You look forward to that issue?
Well,
all
no,
year?
not anymore. I mean, I
used
like,
oh, 362 days left.
I used to.
Till I get that magazine that I'm going to stick the pages together.
You never used to? I mean, we don't need to now. We have the internet. But...
No. I always would hop on the old dial-up box.
So determine whether that's more offensive or the Miller Lite commercial, because now they're trying to cancel Miller Lite.
All the watery beer. I'm on board.
Just like Bud Light. No, that's not the reason. Everyone's saying this commercial that they've found. It came out before the Bud Light Dylan fiasco. So it's not like they were copying. It's not like, because people are saying, oh, didn't they learn anything from Bud Light? Well, they made this first. a very tongue-in-cheek commercial talking about how women invented beer. They were the first brewers. And let me just find it for you.
So why are people offended by this? Is it because they're making a joke? Is that why?
Well, I don't know. I want to play the commercial, and you decide whether this is. If people are serious though about like, oh, this is wokeness gone too far, this, that, and the other. But I watched it and I was kind of like, I don't know. It's a stupid commercial, but I don't know if it was worth getting worked up over. So let me play it for you.
Here's a little known fact. Women were among the very first to brew beer ever. From Mesopotamia to the Middle Ages to colonial America, women were the ones doing the brewing. Centuries later, how did the industry pay homage to the founding mothers of beer? They put us in bikinis. Wow. Look at this wild. It's time beer made it up to women. So today, Miller Lite is on a mission to clean up not just their but the whole beer industry's Miller Lite has been scouring the internet for all this and buying it back so that they can turn it into good for women brewers. Literally, good How, you ask? Ladies, take it away.
First, we turn the bad into compost. Then we feed compost to worms. Push
funny.
out beautiful fertilizer.
That good helps farmers grow quality hops,
which is then donated to women brewers to make their own really good
But there's definitely more out there. In your attic, in the garage, in your parents' basement. Send any you got into Miller Lite and they'll turn that into good too. Oh. So here's to women, because without us, there would be no beer.
What's wrong with this?
So there you go.
Wait. What's wrong with that? That was funny.
You have no problem with that?
Wow. I'm trying to figure out what problem I would have with that.
Yeah, no, I'm going to let you think about it for a minute because I know what I think.
I don't feel anything's wrong with it.
Yeah, I really didn't either. I really certainly expected, because when I saw the headline last night, it's like, oh God, here we go again. Miller Lite didn't learn anything. This is terrible.
It was fucking funny. It was just
it was woke. Right. And I watched it, I'm like, I really wanted to be upset because I'm all into this canceling stuff now. But I was like, who cares? And they did it before the Bud Light thing anyway, which these stories neglected to inform because they want you to think a certain way. Liberals do it, Republicans do it, everybody does it. They want you to just know what they want you to know. And so they didn't tell us that this came out first. They wanted you to think that Miller Lite copied Bud Light.
I don't think they're wrong. I think maybe women were the cooks. Women were the people that made food. Maybe they're right. Maybe women did make beer. It's probably funny. It's just a funny. What's so wrong with it? Historically, it's probably a fact. Men were the hunters and they went out and they were, you know what I mean? And women stayed back and they cooked and they prepared everything.
Yeah.
What the fuck's wrong with it?
Good question. Rachel says, what's wrong with it? It's just a silly thing. Carol says, I think it's funny. Carrie says, all commercials suck. Tim says, outrageous, boycott TV. Yeah, Maria says, women historically did all the cooking, so I guess that would have included beer.
Yeah, they're basically just, the whole commercial was just like, stop using this as objects where they want to make beer. It's funny. It's a tongue-in-cheek. It's not fucking serious. People
IT Chris.
Go
ahead. IT Chris, I like what he said. He says, I'm so tired of the division, men versus women, black versus white, exhausting. Right, that's what they're doing.
Again, this is reaching. Like Gavin Can said, this is reaching. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think it was a hilarious commercial. I thought it was kind of stupid, And I don't have a problem with women in bikinis.
I like how edgy they were getting, saying shit, and like big out. I like that. It was kind of cool. I enjoyed it.
All right. So I'll just ignore all these posts because a lot of people that I follow.
Buying back all the photos, and you probably have some in your basement. Like that's fun. Like to me, that's like, haha. All right.
Yeah. Oh. I learned something this morning. You know how I'm into conspiracy theories. I don't know if I would call this necessarily a conspiracy theory, but I came across a video that I thought was very interesting, and I'd like to share it with you. Did you know the Happy Birthday song is a death ritual?
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. The name chanting, the lighting of the candles.
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, so no one is ever singing me happy birthday again. I'm telling you this right now. I will play you this video and you determine for yourself. A lot of videos today, but that's okay. I like it.
At least they have audio.
Right? Here we go.
Did you know that singing happy birthday is a ritual that makes you older? Now, hold on.
Doesn't the birthday itself make you older?
Yeah. Bitch, waking up the next morning makes you older. What the fuck are you talking about?
Now, hold on before you run thinking I'm tripping, right? So, I study rituals. Reading the book, actually, now, that's about rituals.
Okay, it's reading the book.
And one thing that I saw is that in order for you to do a ritual, you have to light a candle.
Check.
You have to chant the name of the entity or thing that you're trying to evoke.
Okay, check.
You have to say it at least 3 times. Now, think about what's going on during this birthday ritual. Another thing with doing a ritual, you have to be in a circle because the circle carries the most vibration. It's the most balanced shape. So, on your birthday, your family circle around you. You light this candle on this cake. And then you chant in this ritual. Happy birthday to you.
You know the song.
And they singing it 3 times. So then you're saying, how old are you now? So when they say how old are you, they're not saying how young are you. You could literally be 4 or 5, but they still saying how old are you? And then you responding, which is confirmation of oldness. This is a ritual. You're telling your cells in your body.
You're confirming to spell yourself unknowingly.
No, because you're getting older. You're not staying. Kane, we know from past experiences that no one ever sung happy birthday to you, and somehow you still grew up.
I mean, no one ever sung happy birthday to me. I'm
You
sure
didn't
it had
have
to have
birthdays, man.
Had to have happened a couple times. I remember
So those
cake.
couple times made you grow up to fucking to the age you are now.
I remember an occasional cake.
How fucking stupid does this sound? A lot of some religions don't do this, and every ballad has 3 things, and that's just a normal thing.
Maybe the witchcraft and all these rituals are indeed that, but they're just normalized. Maybe they're just everywhere. Huh? Satan is control of this world, is in control. So maybe that's what's happened.
That you're growing old, and every cell in your body have to respond because you're doing a ritual. You have a fire lit. And this is what you have to understand, that our life is shaped by our mind and our thoughts. So if you're confirming that you're getting old, your body have no choice but to obey.
See, that's kind of a good point, right? Maybe we wouldn't age without the song.
My dad doesn't think he's old and acts like he's a 12-year-old still, but the motherfucker's still getting old. This ain't Peter Pan and Never Everland, bitch. You still gotta age. Now, I agree. Now, here's what I do agree with. I do agree with the power of your mind, and I do agree with the law of attraction, and I do agree with if you put it out there, it could come to you. But I don't believe that saying about getting old is going to make you old.
But check this out.
Well, there's more.
So on your next birthday, don't do this ritual that's making you older. But instead, celebrate your youth. Celebrate your beauty. Don't celebrate how old you got. Celebrate how young you got. But before I go, let me let it be known that rituals is not negative or evil.
Okay.
Our ancestors
All
did.
right. Well, but that's good advice. Celebrate how young we are, right?
You didn't get younger. Literally, you didn't. Celebrate how young you got. You didn't get younger.
But maybe, well, no, there's a flaw in that point, though, because if you're not sung to and you don't have cake, how do homeless people get older then? They got no families.
Yeah. You know what? It's depressing. And you know what? I might be getting older, but at least I'll be joyous. I feel good that someone's singing to me. Well, now what if you sing a
Candy Man,
like
Candy Man.
cumpleaños feliz, de cumpleaños feliz?
What the fuck is that? Is that Happy Birthday?
It's in Spanish, yeah, and it's like way more fun. They start clapping and shit.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, they add the clap. There's definitely a seance for sure.
Gold Coast M says, my birthday is July 20th. Sing nice and loud for me, everyone.
Mine too. That's my birthday.
But Kat makes a good point too. She says, but I do feel like dying every time this song is sang to me. Nobody likes it.
For me, it's because I don't like the attention. Like, I don't like that attention. Right. You know what I mean? I don't like to be pinpointed.
Yeah, but I like to ignore my birthdays, but like it hasn't really helped. I still get older and shit. JMCJ said, please stop playing the video. No way. Well, it's over now, but.
I'm 2 years older after I finished watching that video.
Michaela said, dear Lord, talk faster. That's what I was thinking the whole time, too. He's like, really paused between his points.
Because he was trying to make it impactful. He was trying to, you know what I mean?
Know. Maybe for, if we do one on Friday, I'll bring a better conspiracy theory, one that I actually believe in on Friday.
Okay. I'm not too sure that you don't believe in that one fully, though.
No, that one I don't. Couldn't you tell? Okay. You can tell when I'm serious about something.
We've already been through this. It's hard to tell with you.
No, that's true. I'm a good actor, which is why I've gotten so many roles after Sex and the City. I suck at stuff. Let's do the yes/no wheel, okay? Because I've had a couple of DMs from people who really asked me legitimate questions about their lives. The yes/no wheel has been right. It caught someone in a cheating
scandal, yeah.
Right? Cheating scandal. So I want to ask it 2 questions. Well, 3. I have 5 questions written down. 2 of them are from listeners. I can't say their names.
Okay. But
B sent me this thing. It's a dude. Blah, blah, blah. He wants to know if he should get divorced.
Damn, do I? If you're asking a question, the answer is probably yes, but.
Should he get divorced? Well, the yes/no, it really hasn't lied to any. It's never been wrong.
Yeah, but that's more so of an opinion than it is a. Okay, all right, well.
Well, should B? This is for B. Wheel. Should B get divorced? Maybe B's in the chat. I don't know, but this is for you.
No.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Could you imagine going to court and being like, why are you getting divorced? Because the wheel told me to. Because tickerwheel.com said to.
Okay, so B, no. And then now it's a female. I won't even say the letter of her name.
I do want to say, though, B, if you're disappointed with that answer, then your answer should probably be just yes, you know.
Right. No, you can't go against the wheel.
Okay.
This person wants to know if she'll ever have sex again. Because apparently her husband, I screenshotted it. Her husband hasn't been paying attention to her. And it's really kind of it was a sad post. Or a sad message. She said, Kane, can you please spin your wheel and ask it if I'll ever have sex again?
Oh, damn.
Don't use my name. I'm married. This is embarrassing. Oh, and then she goes, I might have to ask the mafia about this, actually. Dry spell doesn't really do it justice at this point. Wow. Damn. So it's been years, apparently.
Damn, she got a dusty dinger down there, boy.
Will she ever have sex again? The yes/no wheel knows all. Yes.
Yes, you will. Just not with your husband.
That's got to make you feel better. And then another listener suggested that I ask him this.
The choice is yours. Obviously, having sex is a choice, and you're going to find someone that. You know.
Sure. Well, don't try to rationalize the yes/no wheel.
Maybe you should ask the yes/no wheel if she should get divorced.
All right, for fun. Let's do that. Mystery lady, should you get divorced? Oh, it's right on the line. No.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, maybe he'll turn around. Maybe he's having intimacy issues. Maybe he's got like a hyperthyroidism or some shit like that. I don't know.
That's right on the line, though. All right. So we got one. It was suggested by the mafia to ask about Corey. Will Corey ever get married?
Ain't I? I feel like I already am.
Will it ever be legal?
Legal? Oh, legal marriage.
Yes. Yeah. See, that's right. Because you're planning the wedding. You know you're
as long as we
married.
keep going to this therapist, we will. That's for sure. Because she.
Yeah. So the wheel is right yet again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask it, will I die alone?
Has it ever did 3 yeses in a row?
I fully expect a yes. And there it is. I'm telling you, there's something magical about this fucking wheel.
The only thing magic about it is the way you perceive it and the way you let it run your mind. You don't have to be. It's your choice, but I think you want to be alone.
Does the mafia want me to ask it any questions? Oh, my God. One more. I'm supposed to go to Austin, Texas for this funeral, but I'm thinking about driving instead of flying.
No way. No, I'll give you a Xanax, dude. Fly. What are you talking about driving?
Rent an RV and I'll buy the thing so I can do the show from the road.
Right,
yeah. Should I drive to Austin, Texas? God,
you already made your mind up. It sounds fun. Why don't you just do it? Why you gotta ask the wheel?
Yes. See? Corey, the wheel is right yet again. That's fine. I'm telling you, man. That's crazy.
New Jersey Kirby Barbie wants you to ask if they are trying to fire my boyfriend. I don't know what that means.
Okay, well, you don't need to know. The wheel knows. Are they trying to fire New Jersey Kirby's boyfriend? It's right on the line, but no. They're not. I hope that makes
He's trying to get fired, though, apparently. Gary Kelly, should Corey send me money? No.
Okay, well, let's find out what the wheel thinks. Should Corey send Gary Kelly money?
If it doesn't say no, it's broken.
It says yes. Okay. Well, it gets one wrong every now and then. Fun with the wheel. Paid suspension. Yeah, there you go. Kid Astoria, will Trump be elected president again? I don't need to spin the wheel for that. That's an easy one.
We're not going to make this show political.
Well, no, I'm not going to ask it. I'm just, let's do some news. I have to justify. Let's start over. Let's do some news.
And now, from a location unknown for his safety, it's Kane with the Not White News.
Okay. Let me go over here. I got to get printer ink, man. I feel lost without my papers. An anti-capitalist pay-what-you-can cafe in Toronto closed after 1 year in business.
Pay what you can?
You don't say. Yeah. The name of the cafe was The Anarchist. The business model was, pay what you can.
How'd that work out?
It did not. The guy who owned it, he blames a lack of generational wealth from ethically bankrupt sources.
No, motherfucker. How about you didn't have a price tag and rent still costs money, you idiot?
He did charge for other beverages besides coffee, like espresso and tea and stuff, but it was the pay what you can for most of it. And locals said those other prices were high. And then they called the owner hypocritical for charging so much when he claimed to be against capitalist values and desire.
He was just trying to. What he was trying to do was work the system. He tried to think that, maybe if I do this, they're gonna come to me and everyone's gonna support me. No, kiss someone's ass, dude. You're a dick.
He blamed everybody except for himself for a really bad business idea. Yeah. And then his last post on the Anarchist website was, "Fuck the rich, fuck the police, fuck the state, fuck the colonial death camp we call Canada." Wow. What a dumbass.
Some people are broken, dude.
A Florida professor dubbed Dr. Deep Sea has set the world record for longest time spent living underwater. People do dumb things.
Now he is a fish.
74 days living in Jules Undersea Lodge at the bottom of a 30-foot deep lagoon in Key Largo.
That's fucking scary, dude. Have you seen it? It looks awful.
In the pictures.
Yeah.
What is it, like a tourist thing?
Yeah, it's a tourist thing. So basically you got to dive down into it, and if you want to get your food, you got to go back out and snorkel back. Not snorkel, you got to dive. It sucks. It looks like it sucks. It's dark down there because you're deep in the water, so you can't really see much light.
He wants to live there for 100 days. He's already broken the record. And his goal from day one has been to inspire generations to come and interview scientists who study life undersea and learn how the human body functions in extreme environments. Plus, I want to get a lot of likes.
Why would I need to learn how a body functions undersea when I don't fucking plan on living undersea?
Well, you know, it's funny. It's funny you say that. He said the idea here is to populate the world's oceans, to take care of them by living in them and really treating them well. Really? I got to build some undersea camps now.
You better find some people to like going. You better find some people that don't like going outside. That's what I gotta say.
Right. There's a new trend: speaking with a British accent because you're nervous.
Hello. Hello. Oi. Why don't you say we go down to the little bakery over there?
Oh my God. I knew this would be a train wreck. That's why.
Hello, Bobby.
Really, the only word I can do is hello. I was like, what
Hello,
else?
Bobby. Can't you believe they nicked our nits and bobs?
Oh my God. Here's an example. Because I guess a bunch of Gen Zers admit that it's become a habit. It's so weird. A woman who works in tech said she recently wanted to let her boss know that she was feeling burnt out. So without thinking, she said in a British accent, "It's affecting me mental health, isn't it?" And the boss goes,
you know what I say? It's Ted Lasso. It's all these shows.
You think?
That are people? Yeah, because that's just a nervous thing. Is like, you know, making noises and doing silly things. People have been doing that forever, but now I think it's because we're so accustomed to hearing British people because of that show and shows like it.
Yeah, some Gen Zers said that when they have to confront people, they want to. They said "Can you please take out the rubbish?" Because I guess it's not as mean.
Yeah,
when you say it.
It's kind of yeah. Now every time I see my friend is from London, I always yell, "Hello!" Every single time.
I bet he loves that.
Hello, Jay. How are you? Would you like to come to my cabin for the weekend?
Oh God, you sound like some old hag.
That's what I do. It's the only way I can speak in a British accent, though.
Some old British hag. A new study ranked 182 cities on the best and worst places to start a career. Atlanta is the best. Where do you think New York ranks as far as cities to start a career?
To start a career?
Mm-hmm.
I would have to be. I don't think it's that low. I think you could start a good career here.
That's last. 182nd.
No shit. Wow.
Yep.
To start a career?
Yeah, well,
I feel like everyone starts their career here and goes somewhere else.
Well, there's no money to. I mean, nobody's getting unless you're, far along in your career and you're established and you make enough money. Nobody can afford to live here if you're just starting out. I would think that's the reason, I would think that's the reason. Yeah. Healthiest state to live in? What do you think?
Healthiest state's gonna be somewhere like Vermont or like, I don't know, Washington,
Hawaii.
That makes sense. Everyone's outside all the time. You're fucking hiking. And
the least healthy states to live in?
Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, West
They're
Virginia.
probably on their download, but the top two: Kentucky, West Virginia.
Yeah, West Virginia, Kentucky. Yeah.
It's always the South. I feel like these surveys come out all the fucking time.
They do. We talk about them often.
I
know.
When
I lived in New Orleans, we did it like every other fucking 2 days. Like it was like reassurance.
Oh my God! Did you talk about that when you were always finishing last in all these things? You talked about it on the air.
What do you mean? No, I'm saying when I was down there recently.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Right. Popular Vietnamese
Can
restaurant.
you check out the rubbish, please?
Popular Vietnamese restaurant in Pennsylvania caught fire on Sunday, but they didn't say the name on the local news because the place is called Fucking. Yeah. P-H-O King, and it's pronounced fucking.
Yeah, and apparently it was on fucking fire. Somebody called the fucking paramedics. Can you imagine next door is the fucking fire department?
New thing to worry about: contact lenses cause cancer.
They've been saying contact lenses cause problems for a long time. Eye lacerations and stuff. Well, yeah, because you're putting a foreign object in your fucking eyeball.
Yeah, I could never do that, ever. Glasses all day long.
Yeah.
There was one woman, you see, this is like a month ago or so, maybe longer than that. But she's like, my eye hurts until she goes to the doctor. Doctor found like 22 contact lenses in her eye, stuck way up on top. How are you stupid? My eye hurts and you have no idea that you haven't been taking your contact lenses
You
out?
thought it just fell out on your bed somewhere and you didn't realize it was in your fucking eyeballs?
And they were pulling them out one after the other. He's like, this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable.
That's gross, dude.
Researchers tested 18 different pairs of soft contact lenses to see if they contained forever chemicals, and they found extremely high levels in all of the contacts.
Makes sense.
So
how is that? How are they just now finding that out, and how is that legal? How is it legal to kill people over time? How is that a fucking thing?
Look what they put in our food. Look what they
How is
dust
that not?
our food
Well, you know
with.
what? It is murder. That's why they get these class action suits 10 years from now, and everyone gets paid out millions.
Johnson
That's what
and
happened
Johnson.
with Robin.
Johnson & Johnson's baby powder. Absolutely.
Right?
They lost billions of dollars in that lawsuit, and Sister Robin is one of the recipients of that money. And
how is that okay? Like if I were to pour Windex in your drink over the course of so long and you die from it, I'm a murderer. I'm going to jail. Why aren't the people that own these companies going to jail for fucking mass murder?
Pfizer comes to mind. Why isn't, AstraZeneca, all this.
What about the
shot
weed,
makers.
the weed killer that apparently was killing people?
Roundup.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get fined and they're allowed to continue to do what they were doing. Pfizer.
That don't make any fucking sense.
I know, man. It's a crazy, fucked up world we live in. Kim Kardashian might be dating Tom Brady.
Good for him, dude.
That's the new rumor. Really? All of his friends are like, stay the fuck away. Tom Brady's too
He
good for
deserves
any...
to have a little bit fun, dude.
He's too
Yeah,
good for
come on, man.
Kardashians. Get the fuck out of here.
Let him have a little bit of fun, dude. Just a little bit.
Oh,
come on.
God.
Come on.
She
He deserves a little
says,
bit of fun.
because she called him. She's shopping for a home in his community, and she's like, oh, we're friendly. She called him to ask for advice on Baker's Bay, which is where she wants to buy a place. And they say there's currently no romance between the two. But that's
how it is nowadays. You make a phone call and you're dating. Oh, she called him.
Mm-hmm.
So what?
Well, because numbnuts like us talk about it.
I heard he wants to buy the Raiders.
Really?
Yeah, someone said that. I think my dad would tell me. He was listening to like ESPN the other day. Said he wants to buy the Raiders.
Christopher Lloyd thinks that he and Michael J. Fox can do another Back to the Future movie.
You know what, man? Christopher Lloyd's been hanging out with Tony Danza at that restaurant down the street. No, like literally, they've been there like a couple days in a row.
Really?
Tony Danza and Christopher Lloyd. Yeah. I think he's got Alzheimer's now. Him and Tony.
Did you see the recent interview with Michael J. Fox? There's no possible way that Michael J. Fox could do another Back to the Future movie.
Yeah.
Just impossible.
And the fact that he's reaching for that, like, come on, man. Do you know the state of Michael J. Fox? Do you not understand what's going on?
That's what I'm saying. He goes, I'd love to do a sequel. If somebody has a brilliant idea that would justify a fourth film, it might happen. There was a certain ease between us. I didn't have to struggle to get there with Michael. Well, you might have.
Yeah, but
he's gonna
he'll be
struggle to
struggling
get
now.
there. Right. There was never any conflict. It just fit, and it's never stopped. Well, that's great, but have you seen the way he is now?
This man don't make any damn sense.
No, I know. He's got it. Maybe he does have Alzheimer's. I don't want to joke about that. I know somebody is maybe having it, but
you?
No. Why you gotta put that out there?
Happy birthday to you.
And finally, The Weeknd has changed his name across all of his media accounts to his real name.
Weekday.
No, see, look at this real name. Now we understand why he changed his name to The Weeknd to begin with. His birth name is O.J. Hitler.
You crack yourself up, don't you? What's his real name? What's the name he changed it to?
Okay, hang on. His real name is Abel Tesfaye.
I like The Weeknd better.
Right. But he said he's done with like all weekend stuff. He can't take the character any further. So now he's going to do some new stuff as this real person.
I don't know, dude. I love The Weeknd. I loved his music. Like back when he was with Drake.
Tesfaye. That's Tesfaye, right?
Tesfaye.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tesfaye.
Yeah, Tesfaye.
Tesfaye.
All right. Welpin. See you tomorrow.
Goodbye, everybody.